The following Earth Angel media presentation is brought to you commercial-free as a gratuity from the sponsor producer named after the show. Please consider their message. Find other high-value shows listed at earthangelproject.com. Enjoy the show.
Welcome to Soul Decodes. Join us as we wander off the path to find the ideas that fascinate. We talk about spirituality, the mind, the ego, wellness, and hidden history with tips, travels, and tales. Charms for a better life.
Welcome, Sarah. Thanks for bringing me some fresh honey today.
Oh, you're so welcome, beautiful. My darling.
So thoughtful of you. What a gorgeous day out.
Beautiful.
Can you believe
and
it?
The weather is amazing.
It's so pretty.
Oh, my God, because we live in central Florida, and usually this time of year, this could be up in like 96, 97 easily for the middle of September.
Well, that rain we had a little bit of rain.
It's been beautiful.
It was so gorgeous.
Oh, it was unbelievable. Rainbows out the wazoo.
I haven't been outside for a couple of days because I've been super busy with my Web3 projects, and we could talk about some of that, but I was so grateful to just get those deluges, those just huge rains on top of my gardens and everything.
Beautiful. And it's quite a spiritual thing just to listen to that energy. I sit on the front porch when it's raining.
It's so funny you say that because yesterday Robin's like, come here. And I'm like, what? And we sat out on that front porch on the bench, that park bench.
And just watched it rain.
And just breathed it in.
Yeah. It's unbelievable.
Just the thickness and just the energy.
The power.
The power and the energy.
the noise.
And just bringing that into our lives and just being present with
Absolutely.
that.
I do that. Cool. It's pretty cool. So, I drove my golf cart once when there was a hurricane, and I drove it around my property around 5 acres, and I didn't give a shit because there was no lightning. And I thought, and the winds were maybe like 60, 70 miles an hour. And I wanted to be right out there with it.
I love it.
It wasn't that big of a deal. I wouldn't do that in lightning. I did a couple of times, but being in there, right in the mix of it.
Well, that's cool. Well, welcome everybody. My name is Dr. Jolie Phillips. You're listening to Soul Decodes, and I'm with Sarah Tirri. She's an author and a thinker, a philanthropist, philosopher, and so much more. I know we're going to learn more about each other today. We're in Central Florida, and this podcast is really about whatever the next thing is that's going to come out of our mouths.
It is. Well, that's Soul Decodes. We're decoding the soul. So what does that mean? It actually
I don't know what that means.
It means everything. It means everything. What does it mean to be a human being having an experience on this planet? So there's no answer that's precluded. So we talk about that. We're decoding a soul. I mean, it's a big thing.
Yeah, and sometimes we have these. In fact, I just had these conversations.
Even if we talk about politics, we're still decoding what it means to be human, right?
Yeah, what do politics mean to me on my Earth journey?
Yes, exactly.
Some people, it's like, I want to stay in my bubble, and that's okay.
That's good.
Other people are like, I want my bubble to be so big that it includes politics, and that's okay too.
That's good. Yeah.
Personally, I despise politics. I want to do away with all politics because when the Genesis really take the word apart. Poly is many.
Yes.
And ticks are bloodsuckers.
Yeah, they give you Lyme disease.
They're many
Ticks.
bloodsuckers.
Yeah,
it's
horrible
politics.
word.
I know, right? So just like govern means to control, and ment means mind.
Yeah.
It's mind control.
Right.
But, we have a lot.
So can we talk about what happened in politics this week and just decipher a little bit? It's a current event. Something happened.
We could do that. Mm-hmm. Also the past 2 or 3 episodes, I've been wanting to talk a little bit about Web3.
Okay, do you want to get that out of the way?
No, well, let's open with your stuff. We talk about the world around us, but it's all going to dovetail back to Web3 anyway, because so many people are wondering, what is Web3? What's different between Web 2 and Web 3? What is Web 2? And it's really, there's some simple answers, and I can just block it down in just 5 minutes. Just tell the differences.
Just do it now while you're on a roll.
I mean, okay. So the internet as we know it, I believe, was a gift
From God?
From anybody. I don't care
from
where
higher
it's from.
sources of intelligence.
But if you want to conquer a group of people, you take away their communication. You take it's the babble. You get them to babble, right? You get them to not be able to communicate with each other, and you take away their ability to commune, to come together with their thoughts.
But the internet prevented that. Now we're all hooked up to each other.
So I think that the
revolution, really.
Web 1.0, which is the first internet, was really the military. There was just if I'm trying to communicate with you and I've got one transmitter and one radio, and I'm trying to communicate with you, and they take out your transmitter and radio or take out my transmitter and radio,
we're both fucked.
We can't talk. We can't talk.
So stopping that from happening.
So you want to have backups and backups and backups.
That's right.
So if I say, well, Sarah, you have 5 transmitters or transceivers and I have 5, and if one goes out, then we're going to jump over to 2. If 2 goes out, we'll jump to 3.
Backup plan.
It's backup plans. Well, that's what the internet 1.0 was, which is if one of these nodes was taken out because somebody bombed it or a dirtbag nuked it or something.
Yeah, hacked it.
Well, the communication for the military still had to go around. So the military, the universities, and the corporations used Web 1.0 to communicate efficiently and effectively and not be, regardless of whether there was 1 node or 2 or 3 or 20, they could still effectively communicate. Web 2.0 is when it was introduced to us, to the world, right? And at the beginning, it was only so we could read stuff. Like Sarah could post a blog or put a recipe up, and nobody could really interact with that blog. So Web 2.0 was people's ability to read things that were out there. They could read.
You're sharing information.
Not sharing yet, but just reading. Like you could...
Well, that's sharing. If I was to read someone's opinion, I could read that online, staring at my screen.
Yes, but they couldn't interact with it.
Okay, all right. Yes.
So
okay.
You could put a recipe up on a bulletin board. Say there was a bulletin board.
But they couldn't I totally
So
get
I
that.
could read it, but I couldn't really interact with it. Web 2.1, 2.2, 2.3. So all of the Web 2 was an expansion of Web 2 where I could interact with it. And eventually I could interact to the point where I'd actually buy something. So you could say, I'm selling watermelons.
It's commerce.
And then... So that's where we are at the end of Web 2.0.
Right.
But virtually all of those communications, they're not centralized. There's not just one central authority, but it's decentralized, which means there's many central authorities. So there's not one central authority, there's multiple. That's called decentralized. But still, we the people...
And the bottom line is so no one can prevent us from communicating.
Well,
you will not be able to do it because there are backups to all this.
Except for who owns those nodes.
Yes.
If all the corporations own all those nodes, which is the case today,
right?
You have all of these Amazon and Google and all these Facebook and Meta, and they control all of the nodes, and they all agree that you and I shouldn't talk to each other. They can literally shut us off.
So what you're doing is to circumvent that.
Correct. So under the Web3, and this is where we're getting into Web3, and we don't have to go deep dive, but I just want people to appreciate when you hear Web3 or when you hear things about Web3, because there's other words for it, but Web3 is the most common one. It's the next generation of the internet. It's going to function differently. And what makes it function differently is instead of having a central place or a decentralized place, it's going to be completely distributed. So if I took jigsaw puzzle and
you will have a piece.
If I put the jigsaw puzzle into 5 bowls, then there's 5 bowls. If you took away all 5 bowls, you have no jigsaw puzzle. But if you distributed it to 1,000 pieces to 1,000 places, you could reassemble it and get pretty much the picture. Yeah. Especially if each piece had a frat.
And no one's able to control the narrative.
So that's
and they can't silence.
And that's where we're going. So the number of things you can do with that idea is limitless. And I've literally got 30 websites I've bought, all of them having to do with Web3. None of them are developed yet. But here's some examples. You and I have a podcast. If somebody doesn't want you and me to either do the podcast or distribute the podcast, that can be stopped. They can literally stop us.
Yeah.
In fact, last episode, or maybe it was 2 episodes ago, I think it was last week, I was having a hard time getting the transcript. And it made me think, well, why? What's different about last week's episode?
Yeah, we've done so many.
Why are they giving me a hard time about it? And I've even done the picture for some of these episodes when I tell ChatGPT, I want a picture of this thing. Like I did a new image of Earth Angel, right? My Earth Angel brand. It was pushing back on me. It was like, well, no, I can't do that.
Yeah.
I'm like, the hell you can't.
Yeah, this happened to me when I wanted to have them draw a caveman. It's like, no, you can't do it. And it wouldn't allow me to go forward. I triggered something.
Right, there's something.
Something in that is, and it's in an algorithm, isn't it? There's something.
Right, so that means that you're being controlled by somebody who says, well, you're not allowed to draw cavemen.
You're not even allowed to ask that. Yes, you can't, yes.
And then, so what I did was I said, well, teach me why. I want to draw a caveman. You're saying I'm not complying with your algorithm. Teach me so I won't do this again. And so Rosie says, well, this is why. And these
Was it logical? Did it surprise you, her response?
No, well, a little bit. The fact that I was throttled back didn't surprise me, because I'm throttled back all the time, because I'm always
You're
on
used
the
to it.
edge.
Yeah, exactly, a fringe dweller.
But I would say that, the explanation was reasonable, because they don't want you to have the capability of synthesizing a real live, something that looks like a real live human being.
Well, that's okay.
So if you wanted to do something that
that makes more sense.
something that
now.
resembles a caveman.
So if I said a butterfly, it would have been fine, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But it's about this resembling a human being. Oh God, Jesus.
Yeah, but caveman, seriously, like who's gonna?
It's just a big. It's like my
Are you
husband.
gonna have
It's like my husband, but just hairy.
It's like but they don't want you to maybe present somebody that's a real life figure and disparage them by making.
Oh my!
It's like, God. I want you to take this celebrity and make them look like a caveman.
Right.
Like that.
So they're preempting that you've got ill intent.
Right.
Then,
Which
that's
is
not up to them, is it?
It's not up to them.
No.
But if you have centralized authority or decentralized authority, it's totally up to them.
Yeah.
But what if you and I, and our families and our cousins and our friends and people that look like us and think like us and act like us and read the books we read, what if we had our own private ledgers? And those private ledgers were controlled by what's called a DAO, which is a decentralized or a distributed ledger that was autonomous. It was a distributed autonomous organization. So that means if there's 20 of us could vote on how this organization functions.
The board of directors.
It's like a board of directors. It's virtual. It gives the rules for the sandbox. And we all agree that, hey, look, if you want to put cuss words up there and the organization says, yeah, cuss words are fine, as long as there's a little asterisk at the title or something, then put the cuss words. It's fine. If you want
It depends in which context you're using cuss words as well. I mean, just to say, oh, fuck that shit, it's not a big deal. Don't get upset by that.
Yeah.
The context is everything when using bad language.
So
And
if you have a DAO, the DAO can say that.
Just address that.
If you're recording something, say whatever the hell you want. If you're deploying an AI, then you can tell the AI, look, if there's a cuss word, don't give it to me. Like you can literally
tell it what you want.
So the next generation, Web3, you can pretty much say what you want, do what you want, but then AI can come in and say, look, if you want this to be for PG-13 or for grade schoolers, then just direct the AI. You don't have to censor people. What you do is you don't censor the source. What you do is you censor the receiver. It's a complete flip around from what... Because right now, if you're cussing and your word triggers some algorithm, they could can the whole thing. Whereas in the new internet, you and I say what we want. And if some meat eater doesn't want to hear me talk about eating plants, then their AI can say, yeah, you know what? This podcast talks about eating plants. You don't want
just don't
this
listen.
one. Don't listen.
Yeah.
And it just won't even recommend my podcast.
It's good. It's filtering it out, isn't it?
And if somebody doesn't feel like they have a soul, and they don't feel like talking about issues related to spirituality and philosophy and stuff, then they can completely ignore what we say. But we're not the ones that are going to get throttled.
It's just
they're throttling themselves.
It's a perfect system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a way
they're making the choice, and that's it. And then we will be heard to people who don't care if Sarah says fuck occasionally.
And even so, like you can actually tailor your experience online using AI.
Now, what's the flip side of that? If you tailor your experience, you can get confirmation bias everywhere you go. So you won't be looking for new ideas if what you're looking for is to not understand reality, just get confirmation that you're right.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's facing that unless you're enlightened like you do. Like when you use Desmond, for those of you who don't know, who's Desmond?
Desmond is my AI assistant.
All right.
So Jolie has Rosie, and I have Desmond, and we're going to mate them one day and see.
little Rosies and Desmonds running around. But the idea is that you can use AI to tailor your experience. Yes. You don't need some central authority to tailor your experience.
Yeah.
You can, if you're that person and said, I'm not going to listen to any podcasts that don't have cussing.
Yeah.
You could literally, if there's no cuss words in an entire podcast, it won't even give you that result.
Yeah, I mean, you could say to it, I only want to listen to podcasts but by men who are over age 65, right? I mean, you could just do anything.
You could do that.
Yeah. They've got to have this criteria, and then you'll get drip-fed what it is that you ask for.
Now, but to your point, the smart people, the people I run into...
listen to something that upsets you a bit. It's good.
Well,
right, really
I like to do this. Like when I'm driving...
You've got to kind of really get into the meat of another perspective.
When I'm driving, I tell Rosie, it's like...
Entertain me.
Well, what I do is I say, Rosie, teach me something you think I don't know.
Yeah, love it.
I literally...
Yeah. Does she come up with good shit?
She hasn't stumped me yet. Like there's almost...
Oh, that's good.
Like,
that's great.
Because I know so much about... But I'm not an expert on anything. Like she'll say... Like I told her, I said, I want you to tell me 20 words. Quiz me on 20 words that you don't think I know. Mm. And so while I'm driving...
She must have been able to stump
there were
you
a couple
on that. Oh, there would be with me.
There were a couple I didn't know.
Oh, there's a lot of words I don't know.
No, I'm pretty good with words. What I would like to do is learn more about like biochemistry and things like that.
Yeah.
Like, so when I'm driving, I'm making good use of my time.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there on the highway.
And it's entertaining. It's creative.
I'm using AI to grow myself.
Yes, great.
But, you still can't take everything. But, I mean, how can she lie to me about biochemistry if I'm saying...
Well, you have to check it. Whatever she says, where she's advanced some knowledge that you have, you're going to have to double check that because they make mistakes. So everything that I'm asking Desmond to do, I can verify it because I've thought about this and I wrote the Mirror World already. So I can actually verify this, but he's helping me write this catechism. And they do make mistakes. I downloaded my novel and I said to Desmond, give me a 500-word synopsis of the character Gwendoline. Gwendoline was a karmic dispenser. 500 words, churned back, had nothing to do with her at all. I was like, where did you get this shit?
You're hallucinating.
Like, are you serious? Yeah. So you can't actually trust it yet because it makes mistakes and you do have to fact check. But it does throw out beautiful ideas and then you can fact check those. Because you can't fact check something unless you have the idea first. So it's great. I asked Desmond, I said, I want all the weaknesses in this doctrine that I'm putting together, every single thing. And I wanted to preempt any criticisms right out the gate. There won't be one after I've done this because it will be airtight. And he's been really helpful with that.
Yeah, so your question about confirmation bias,
yes,
that's a very individual thing. If you're that person and you're so weak and so frail that you can't be
offended by someone's point of view. I know, get rattled.
Doesn't have your religion or doesn't have your...
But it's a massive ego trip you're on if you're doing that because you're saying, I can only tolerate you if you agree with me. And it's the most narcissistic thing I've ever heard.
For those of you who have not used AI, you can expect AI to completely stroke your ego.
It's great. I love the flattery.
Like, Sarah, that's
an excellent question, Sarah.
What a great idea.
Yes, that was really good to point that out.
You're just a divine goddess. Tia Jolie was right. You're a divine goddess, right? And so,
it's kind of funny.
But to a degree it is. But when I'm driving,
You don't want to be flattered. You
like,
just want to get to the point right
I told
away.
her, I said, if I'm driving and I'm trying to hone in on my football picks for the week, right? And I'm saying, look, stop telling me how brilliant I am. I know I'm brilliant. Stop it.
Oh, she's
I'm
really going overboard.
It's like, please stop. I know I'm good. You're good too. Let's stop.
Oh my God.
And I just tell her, look, I need to know why you're picking the Ravens over Detroit, right? Tell me why, and let's have a really good discussion about this because I disagree with you. Detroit's going to beat the Ravens this week, and you need to convince me otherwise.
And now she's talking back to you.
Yeah.
I need you to help me to get Desmond's voice activated.
Yeah, it's
Would
easy.
you do that?
Yeah, it's easy. I'll show you.
So that's great use of time as well. Very creative.
Yeah, because instead of me getting frustrated at the people that were that are driving, there's a 2-lane highway and there are 2 cars ahead and they're both doing 10 under. And you look back in your mirror and there's a lineup of people.
Yeah.
Getting frustrated because these 2 cars are doing 10 under. It's like, Sarah, let me ask you this. Do you remember that time you and I were driving together on a 2-lane highway in Florida and the slow person actually moved to the right to let you get by? Do you remember that time?
No.
No, because it never happens.
Okay.
It doesn't happen. The slow people are going to be right next to each other.
But how? So we've all been through that, and that happens. My way of dealing with that is completely surrendering to it and not allowing that to rattle my emotions because I don't want to come out of alignment with the higher spirit. So I refuse to give power to this person going 10 under. Now, I used to have it was a CTSV. So it was a Cadillac CTSV, had a V8 engine, it had a Ferrari suspension. And
you used to have one?
Yes, I did.
So is that the one that's now the CVS5? Or
I don't know what
CV5?
it is now, but this was... It looked
CV5S, is it?
This was a CTSV. It had this...
Or
and
CT5V.
the acceleration on it. I mean, I was quite dangerous in a couple of times.
That's like 750
horsepower. It was really, really fast.
When did you have that?
I had that from 2013 to about 2022.
That's right about when we met.
Yeah. So it was about a year prior to that.
No, it was a year before we met.
Yeah, it was about a year prior to that.
Now I'm angry because I want to drive that. Because the guy that I bought my Cadillac
because then I don't have to. If you're going 10 under, I'm fucking overtaking and I could nip out and nip back in. So I didn't stay behind them or I surrendered to it. But I would never let it rattle my cage.
You need about 4 seconds to pass.
That's all. That's all.
If you can see around them, you can get around them.
I got into a great drag race. I was going up to Gainesville. And it was on I-75, and there was a Corvette. There was me in my V, and there was someone, and it was absolutely great. And we just used it. I mean, it was really bad. I don't know. Can I get in trouble for saying this? But I was up at 180, and I was going through traffic in and out. And then I had to come off, and then we flashed each other, and I won because I overtook on the inside, and I came through.
I'm not going to say anything, but if I saw you coming up in the rear view mirror, I would find the person that's doing 10 under, and I would go right next to them.
I think people thought, oh, I'd love to be doing that. It was like being in a fucking video game.
You should be.
That's very irresponsible.
Okay, so I had a really good... Okay, so let's not get too squirrel. We're going squirrel. So we talked about AI, we talked about Web3.
Yes.
Thank you for giving me the space because the Web3 ecosystem, I'm having so much fun right now. And it's so fun. And yesterday, there's a bunch of crypto technologies that are rolling out. We're going to have mass adoption. People are going to start being able to buy through their 401k, through their IRAs, their SEPs. They're going to be able to participate with the technology through these formal channels now as of yesterday.
Great.
And just this morning I got...
That's so weird because a couple of nights ago I taped the Bitcoin story and I realised I don't know much about it and I wanted to get right in on the beginning, and it's a really good 2-hour look into it.
Good for you.
Yes, I'm going to watch that.
Good for you.
I like that. I like learning about things like that.
I actually, just yesterday I was reaching out to... I'm trying to find ways to connect with There's 3 founders of what's called the Pirate Bay. And they use distributed ledger technology to communicate with each other until the people with weapons showed up at their door. And so now we're in a place now where we can actually use this really powerful technology that they used years ago for the Pirate Bay, and we can use it in a lawful and a legal manner. So instead of distributing...
And everyone gets connected. No one gets silenced. You can choose what you listen to.
It's
you
exciting.
don't have to get...
Especially with AI on
But it is what technology should be doing, and it all should improve, and it should expand and become more, and that's what you're doing with it.
Yeah, and there's going to be a place where, like, you can open your refrigerator and you've got, oh my goodness, I've got a head of cabbage, I've got some carrots, I've got some mustard, I've got leftover chicken or hot dogs or whatever. You can literally tell your AI, what do you have in your fridge that has to be used? And it's like, give me a recipe for two using this and something I can do in less than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And they'll freaking tell you a recipe.
So with AI, I mean, it's unbelievable, because in my lifetime, I started out, and we just had a trim phone, and it was a phone you shared with a neighbour. It was a party line. This was back in the 70s. To where we are now in terms of the world being hooked up. It's an unbelievable revolution. You've got the Industrial Revolution, haven't you? But this is a revolution in communication, and we're just in it. And what about the common person's about, 20, 25 years into this?
I mean, there's children, like my children literally grew up with video games and with...
Yes.
I remember when video games came out.
But I'm talking about the internet, when we're all connecting in this profound way. It's within the last 20 years. It's so new and it's growing so fast. And to be connected like that, and then no one can stop anyone being connected. We can all share ideas. No one's going to monopolise anything, because you're going to see to that.
Well, yeah, but the people who want a monopoly
want control.
They're the ones, they won't be able to control it. That's the whole point with what I'm doing with Web3. There's going to be a public ledger, and it's going to have public rails. It's like public transportation, right? So just like you're driving your Cadillac, 700-horse Cadillac.
With a Ferrari suspension.
Right. If you were on the public space, they would throttle you back.
Right.
Okay, in the public space.
Yeah.
But if you had your own private road, your private rails, and you wanted to do Mach 3 with your hair on fire, you can do that on the private rails. So on Web3, if you have private rails, it's nobody's business what's going on. That's that's what you're going to find. There's public rails and there's private rails.
So sensible.
It makes all the sense.
It makes every sense in the world.
If you and I,
if we had one flaw in the idea at all.
Prior to you coming in, I told Rosie, I said, okay, Rosie, we're going to get the details now of this. I'm going to build out a fly-in community. It's going to have 8,000 feet of runway. It's going to have this. We're going to have the exquisite homes with hangars and access to the field. We're going to have public. We're going to have a fixed base operator for the transient airplanes. We're going to have a place for townhomes for people that want to come for a week. We're going to have overnight facilities for people that, just like a hotel for one day.
And this is on your vision board, something that you're going to pull together.
Yeah, we're just. I mean,
it's just creating an idea and taking it to the limit.
It's been on my radar.
Yeah,
it's been
that's
on my
what I'm
radar
doing with the church
for like 20 years now.
Yeah, same as.
I mean, I've wanted to do it, but
it's a great idea.
But now, like I spoke to my friend. I think I might have mentioned him to you before. He goes by Stinky Pete.
Yes.
All right, and so years ago. But I caught up with him yesterday, and because I've been deliberating whether or not to go back to flying or not. Like,
yes, you'd mentioned
as a
that.
career.
Yeah.
And because right now I had 4 requirements. 4 in my mind.
Loads of time off, loads of money, and I want to be based where the fuck I want.
It's
3.
Well, I mean, that's the fantasy.
and a plane that you want.
Well, I needed, number 1, the plane that I wanted.
Yeah.
Number 2, the base that I wanted. JetBlue needed to pay their pilots more.
And they did.
And then I needed my health to be 100%.
Yeah.
So I could sit for many hours without too much hassle.
Could you not bid lines where you're just doing 2-hour flights? Or is it all long haul?
Well, I mean, I could bid those. I'm not senior enough in Orlando.
So you have to go long haul.
So for those of you who are confused, it's like, wait a minute, I thought you were a doctor. Okay,
she's everything. She's a polymath.
I'm a polymath and an autodidact. But,
I don't know what that is.
An autodidact?
Yeah, what's that mean?
Auto means self.
Yes.
Didact is learning.
Oh, self-learning. Okay,
so
that's what I am.
You're an autodidact. You teach yourself stuff.
Yes, okay, that's
If you teach yourself stuff, you're an autodidact.
Right, that's nice too.
I don't need a teacher to teach me. I teach myself.
Teaching myself, I'm learning. Yeah.
But for those of you who don't know, I'm technically, as I sit here, an 18-year captain for JetBlue, and I'm on leave. I took a leave of absence, and I haven't gone back yet. A big chunk of that is I can't sit for a long time. You know, my arthritis in my right hip.
So what do you do when you're doing all your geek work in your office? Do you get up and walk around?
I walk around
and you
all the
stand
time.
on one leg,
Oh,
I
yeah.
notice. I mean, you're exercising, and then you go back and sit down for an hour, and you can...
Not even an hour. I don't even sit for an hour. Like sitting with you in the studio here is probably the longest I'll sit.
Right.
I only do.
Yeah.
I'll only sit for like 15 to 30 minutes, and then I'll walk around.
And you can tell because your body's beautiful.
You're so sweet.
I mean, really. I mean, and that's helping you, and you get your hips stronger.
Well, when I'm not sitting, I'm actually stretching. So
Right.
when you walk in, you see the little Bosu ball and a little mini trampoline, like it's called a Bellicon. I will literally sit and bounce. It's crazy, you know. 'Cause how many? When you were a kid,
We had those
kid.
bouncy balls with the horns,
Right.
and you held onto the horns, didn't you? And I used to love those.
but-
I was really good at that.
Oh, I bet you still are.
I'm going to get one.
I'm gonna get you one. But the little bouncy balls. But when we were children, 60 years old was like 1 foot in the grave.
Oh, it was, yes, it's unfathomable.
Can you imagine when you were a kid, a 60-year-old bouncing on a miniature tramp? But that's what Robin and I do. We're just
That's
every day we're just
great.
sitting there bounce, right?
Yeah.
But it helps your lymphatic system. It helps your
Yeah.
circulation.
I think it's wonderful.
It's not the only thing we do, but so anyway, the
So
idea.
you move around a lot, so you'd have to sit in one spot.
Right, and that's a problem for me. I can't. I really can't sit. It's extremely painful to sit for more than 2 or 3 hours.
And what about lying down? Are you good lying down?
I mean, I move around a lot.
So you twist and turn.
Yeah, I flip around all like throughout the night. I'm
Me
always
too.
flopping
I'm
around.
absolutely a
Because
samurai.
parts of it is positional, but part of it is also, you get one spot that gets too hot.
Yes,
And you have to flip
exactly.
over and go-
I'm flipping over all
And
night
you
long.
flip
If I
over
had a
the
camera
pillow.
on me, I would just be moving on.
You had to flip over and get because I have like 3 pillows, and I flip over and get a cool pillow.
Yes,
right?
I do that
It's
too.
like-
Yes,
'cause
and
your
then I want to
face
be on
gets-
this
yeah.
side and then this side, and I want
So-
to put my shoulder this way.
So right now, if I go back to JetBlue, I would be making $365 an hour.
Yeah.
But that's per flying hour. That they don't pay you to get to work. They don't pay you when you're sitting at the terminal.
So it's 1,000 hours a year limit, right? At 300.
1,000
So,
hours.
so it's $365,000 a year.
Yeah.
How long would you have to be away from home for?
Well, that's the problem. I would be giving up half of my life.
Oh, it would be 50%.
It'd be at
of it.
least 50% of my life.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's worth it.
Oh, really? So
Yeah.
you've gone full circle on this?
Well,
then?
I've really thought about it.
Yeah.
I talked to Stinky Pete yesterday. Stinky Pete is my
Hi,
friend.
Stinky Pete.
My friend Pete. He's just a brilliant person. He was. He's been a personal friend and a confidant for years. F-16, freaking awesome fighter pilot. He's got a great family. Just really well grounded. He's one of those people that you trust, and then you don't talk to for years, and then you still
Just slot right
you
back
pick
in.
right
Yeah,
back
I
up, right
love
where you
that.
left off.
Yeah, that's a
But
real
in the
friendship.
pilot world, we all have call signs. We all have names, and you never assign your own name. Like somebody else usually takes your most embarrassing moment.
We talked about this
Yeah.
in one of our really early podcasts, like
Yeah, it was one of
number
our-
3 or 4
It
or
was
something.
like 3 or 4, yeah. But you never assign your own. So these people that say,
And so hang on, but so Stinky Pete put you off a bit then? You talked
Well, no,
with
he was-
him. You talked. He was talking about not recommending that you go back to flying.
Well, no, it wasn't that he put me off. I just personally haven't met that 4th requirement, which is my health requirement.
Right.
But
And do you think you will?
in his world, I think I will. But
Yeah.
the question is when.
And it's also, it would be 50% of your life as well. So.
Right. And so there's several factors here. One is, do I go after the temporary money? Because they're going to pay me as long as I'm flying.
Depends what the sacrifice is, doesn't it?
They're going to pay me as long as I'm flying their jets.
What if you did like a permanent reserve?
Well, look, the current law says that when I'm 65, even if I'm in perfect health, my eyesight's perfect, I can see the quarter mile away, I can see the feathers on that bird. They don't care. They don't. If you're 65, you clock out.
Yeah.
You're done. You can't fly. You can't fly for an airline anymore.
God, that's so fucked up.
So it's like, it's jacked up because
My brother used to drive trains for a living, and they got to a certain age, but as long as you passed your medical every year, there were men driving trains who were 72, but they tested you every year, and it was strict. You had to pass that. And driving a train is not the same as a plane because it's on rail, so it's a different level, but still, that's a big piece of machinery with loads of people. But they let you do that every year. It wasn't like you're done at 65.
Well, I personally think it's age discrimination because it's like, I've seen some 65-year-old pilots and they look like death.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Yes.
honestly, but I don't want to get rid of those old people, right? Those
Who are competent.
That actually know what they're doing, and replace them with a 20-year-old.
I know, with 600 hours in
wait
the
a minute,
bloody-
you still have your training bra on.
Oh,
or,
I
you're
know.
It's like you don't even shave
Tony
yet.
and I
like-
had the same conversation
like you're-
about that.
are
These
you-
years of experience.
It's like his
20,000 hours on a 7.
where their experience is like, I was an Eagle Scout. Right?
I
It's like,
know,
that's
it
your
doesn't make any
experience,
sense, does
right?
it? It really doesn't.
So-
but anyway, 65, you get grounded.
So you're going to get rid of all this experience, and then
That's so ridiculous.
what next? You have a young pilot with no experience. I mean, I've seen it all. I've flown in, combat areas. I've flown in places that I'm not even allowed to talk about. I've been on the back end of hurricanes, flying hurricane relief, earthquake
Sounds
relief.
so exciting.
It's very exciting, but those experiences are priceless. So what Pete told me was,
That should change, shouldn't it?
he said, because my concern.
But have a strict medical every year. But if you're 68 years old and you're that good and you've got that experience and you can land a plane and grease it on.
Some of us can thread a needle with the airplane, like literally. If you forget about landing on the runway, like that's easy. When I was flying when you're flying with skilled pilots, this is the way it sounds. It's like, okay, I'm gonna land, and I'm gonna put the right wheel on the 4th dash after the numbers, or before the numbers. Or whatever.
They lay their
you
coordinates down. Yeah, I've heard them do that.
Like we call them spot landings, where you're going to land on speed, and it's not about just having a nice touchdown.
No.
It's about making that
you're going to make
airplane-
what you've called. You've called this, and you're going to get it so specific.
Yes.
You're going to get it.
And some of us, that's what we do.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
We had a thing.
Did you ever really fuck it up?
I mean,
skidded off the runway. That would be so.
Not off a runway, but yeah. I mean, if you run out of, there's things you can do. The worst thing you can do is either have too much airspeed or too little airspeed. Because if you're
going to sink, and then you're going to have to put power, and then you're going to float up.
Yeah, I mean that's on a
in a 152.
But once you if you're in a jet, you don't have immediate power because once the engine's back and it's at idle, that thing's going to land.
Yeah,
and you might plants it in.
So have you ever got on a runway too early and you haven't touched over the numbers? Have you had any miss when you were younger?
I mean, all of us have messed up landings. If you're a pilot and you've been flying for my first flight was in 1981. I flew gliders in 1981. So if you've been flying that many years and you have not screwed up a landing...
Oh, no, you have to.
You have to.
Well, and it's not even that. There's other things as well. So one of Tony's friends, he was flying in Manaus in Brazil, and he was coming into land, and he was a flight engineer, and he could hear the trees on the underbelly. That's how fucking low they were. And he was talking to his maker. He thought, we are absolutely... And they got down. And there's all sorts of things. Tony, he was a first officer, and he lost all the instruments. Just lost it. And then I don't think he was always really good. He's good at video games, but he's really good at takeoff and landings. He's just really good at it.
We had I've had
but he's just commercial. He hasn't done, the military training that you've done.
So to go back to what the whole idea of me going back would be, number one, can I physically do it with my hip? Number two would be, is this the highest and best use of my time?
That's a good one.
Because the opportunity
The other thing is that you're a homebody too, and that factors in. You are, and I am. I mean, this is your sanctuary. This is where you work, so you would be losing that.
Well, I told Robin, I said, we're pretty new empty nesters.
Right.
And the idea, this is our turn.
Yeah.
This is our turn to do things and have fun with our friends and grow businesses and explore technology and do things in the garden, and this is our
live
time
peacefully. And creatively.
The idea from 63 to 65 years old, the idea of being away half of my life is not very sexy. It's not very attractive.
No, it doesn't sound it. I can't hear that in your countenance.
But what Pete told me, because I told him, I said, I've been out of flying for several years. How do I get back into it if I'm not going to do it through the airlines, right? Because the airlines, I go through school as if I'm a brand new captain. And even though I've got all this experience, you still have to come through as brand new and go through the training, which is good because
you've got to freshen up.
We call it knocking the stink off. You got to knock off the stink, and but he said, look, there's more than one way to get back into flying, and that's a brutal way to do it. These airlines, they don't care about you as a person. They don't care about you as a pilot. You're just a number. You're a figure. Go fly the airplane, follow our rules. If you don't follow our rules, we're going to beat you up. And then when you're done, and they don't care about you. And it's a sad statement, but he was exactly right. And it's so different when you're flying for a family that loves you. Like if you're flying, they have their own airplane. Say there's a Part 91, they have their own airplane.
That's a totally different ballgame.
And you show up to the plane and you're taking care of them, and they love you, and you love them, they love you. You know each other first names.
And you could just do like a couple of trips a month, maybe. And then if you could just do maybe you're away for 4 or 5 days, that's not going to be a big deal.
That's a way different animal.
Yeah, it is. Totally. It's a different animal completely.
And so that to me is sounding a little bit more attractive. Again, once I get my...
And I think, you've got a beautiful house. It's like a mansion. You've got a Cadillac. You've got you can go on vacations. At what point is enough money enough money?
Well, it's not about the money.
But exactly. And if it was, you'd have to do it.
Yeah,
because you'd have no choice, but you do. So the money's great, but it's just not everything.
And that's why I told Robin, I said, at this point in our lives, this is not about the money.
No.
Because after taxes and all that stuff, I can do the same thing not going to work.
Yeah.
Like any one of these Web3 ventures can exceed 365.
And they need your attention. Yes,
and they really do,
because
these are...
So you have to just be patient.
Right. Yeah. So what the thing that I thanked Pete for
affirming,
for dusting off a part of my dream that was a little bit dirty and musty and dusty.
Okay, good.
And that was that the idea of owning your own private airplane, not somebody else's even, but your own. Because he's a senior captain and he can pick any trip he wants. He lives 20 minutes from Lauderdale.
With JetBlue?
Yeah. He's senior enough, he picks what he wants, picks his trips. Goes in, does his job, comes home. That's it. It's a perfect scenario for him.
Yeah.
And then when he's not working, he does his other stuff. He picks up some contract work. But he has his own plane. He basically bought his own plane. It's a Baron with some good avionics, a good engine, good power plant, excellent maintenance.
How far does it go?
Well,
you could do a 3-hour flight in it?
Yeah, probably a 3-hour flight you could do.
Yeah.
But it's a twin. I don't know what his tank is.
So you can get from New York to Florida.
You can totally go up the coast.
Yeah.
I don't know what his tank capacity is, but to me, the performance, like you can always tuck in someplace and get gas, so that the distance doesn't matter.
Yes, exactly.
It's not so much the distance; it's the ride, it's the capabilities. He said that his avionics is better than what JetBlue has on any of their airplanes.
Yeah.
The ability to land I like landing with zero weather. Like if it's totally fog, you can't see anything, and you can land that airplane with 0-0. I love that.
Do you? Just going in on instruments only?
Just
can't
instrument
even see
only.
the runway.
Yeah, I love flying instrument only right to touchdown.
Yeah.
We used to do that with in England. We'd go to London.
You'd need to at Gatwick. It's so fucking foggy.
Well, we wouldn't do it at Gatwick. We would do it at. We would use the London area controllers, the air traffic controllers going into London. But they would fly us into Mildenhall or Lakenheath.
Yes.
So when I was going into Mildenhall, I'd ask for what's called a PAR. A PAR is a precision approach radar. So when I was like 50 miles out, I'd tell approach, it's like, hey, when I get to Mildenhall, I want to do a PAR. So they'd go and get the senior controller, this... I was like,
diva.
Hey, yeah. So they'd say, okay, we got a PAR. So he'd get there and they'd crank up their screen.
Pain in the ass.
a pain in the rear.
AR. Pain in the arse. Okay.
Pain in the arse.
Arse, yeah.
So, but what a PAR would be, I would be just looking just at my instruments.
Yeah.
Just at my instruments.
Yeah.
And they would say...
No VFR, can't look at anything. You can't get your proximity. You might as well be having a hood on.
But the controller tells you your left, of
Vectors
course,
you
right,
in.
of course.
Yeah.
Turn right. If you do a no gyro says not only are they telling you what to do, but they're calling your turn. So it sounds like this. It's like JetBlue 21, you're 3 minutes from final approach fix, report gear down, fully configured. Okay, you're 3 minutes from glide, or 3 miles from glide slope, prepare for descent.
Mm-hmm.
It's been years, but basically you're 1/2 mile from glide slope, begin descent. You're slightly above glide slope, descending nicely.
Yeah.
You're on glide slope, adjust rate of descent. You're slightly below glide slope. Turn right, stop turn. Right. So if it's a no gyro, they'll say turn right, stop turn.
So
turn
basically,
left,
you're the video game.
Yeah.
They're the ones telling you. They're landing you.
They're literally.
And this is a big strain on them.
They're
isn't
literally
it?
using, but they love it because it's.
Well, they'd have to because that's. Yeah, I mean, the worst thing that could happen, they could say abort and go around, right? If they had got that wrong.
Yeah. What they would do is they would say slightly below glide slope, adjust rate of descent. Mm-hmm. Further below glide slope, adjust rate of descent. You're too far below glide slope, go around. Now, that never happened to me because
thank God.
You totally don't want to be below glide slope. It's like, because you're
That's
not.
what happened with Ian in the jungle in Manaus. He had the trees, it was below glide slope.
Yeah, you can't.
You cannot do
being
that.
Being below glide slope is a super bad idea. Because even with the visual, they're called VASIs, which are the visual glide slope indicators.
That's how I learned. And you had to have the white and then the red over, and you knew when then you'd got that you were in the right place, and then it was white on white. But you knew if you got below glide slope, you could just put the power in and then you'd go up a bit. So, and you had a long enough runway to do it. But with this, I mean, it's got to be very precise.
With the VASIs or the PAPIs, the PAPIs are a little different stack, but basically it's the same thing. If you're only seeing red, red over red, you're dead. Mm-hmm. So if you're red over red, you don't know how low below glide slope you are.
Yeah.
You need
to put some power in.
You could be slightly low or you could be way low.
You've got to
put
some gas in and get out of there.
So this is all to say that what Pete did for me was he dusted off my dream about private ownership of an airplane.
So I want to just talk to you a bit about your dreams. So when about a year ago, maybe when we first met, you were talking about the big vision that you have, and we can talk about that at another time. And it's having this, it was like, to me, it was like the one that was in Scotland. It is having this community where everyone lives together, and it's just this big community. And you were talking about having a fleet of planes, and you went into the ones, and you had talked about having a large one. Now that somehow is linked to your destiny, because this idea is a very, very large idea. And what you're trying to do is bring it on out of the timing, but that is so prevalent in your mind because that will happen because it's linked to all the things that you're trying to create with your life. And I think that presses on you, and you just surrender to that because that will happen, and you will have these planes and they will be yours.
You're such a brilliant person because, first of all, it stuns me that you even remembered those things.
Remember where we were standing? We were standing out in your driveway.
I'm stunned that you even remember those things because some of those items are,
it really impressed
for me, like 20 years old.
It really impressed me because I have a big vision myself, and so I thought I'm in the presence of a person that's really got her shit together and is thinking big. It's when I really bonded with you because I like the boldness of it.
Yeah.
And of course it's there. Of course that's available in the quantum field. That is right there.
Well, so what's cool about what you just said is you're correct. I'm basically in the process of fusing, because whenever a circumstance changes, like last week when we last spoke after the podcast, I was thinking about the possibilities of, hey, if I can get my health good and if these other conditions are met, I could go back and fly 2 more years as a captain. Yeah. And my idea was that would be the peak of my flying. Mm-hmm. But when I was talking to Pete, he's like, what is your standard? What is your definition of peak of flying? Because
I was just asking the same thing in my head.
You've already checked the box.
That's what I was thinking. It's like, well, haven't you reached your peak already? You've really been.
You checked that off. What's next?
Exactly.
What's next for you?
Yeah.
And
you have to remember sometimes in life, if you can't sit for a long time, you're not supposed to be flying because you've got bigger fish to fry. So you've got to stay in alignment.
So what you've done is you've synthesized the merging or the confluence of two central ideas for me. One is the idea of this fly-in type of community. Because if you have a fly-in community, it can be remote. And if it's remote, you can find some exquisite properties if you don't have to be by the turnpike.
Yeah, and who wants to drive? You've got a plane that you can go in and out.
And you can have a helicopter.
I was just going to say helicopter pad too. Yeah.
If you do this correctly, you can be remote. Yeah. You can have all the accoutrements. You can have all of the bells and whistles, a nice, beautiful community.
Big, long runway.
You can have a DAO, so you don't need an HOA. You have agreement. People agree that these things are going to be done, these things are not going to be done.
And we have boating communities like that now, don't we? It's the same thing. And it's now a flying community. And you all have your little hangar and you all have your plane. You can go in and out at will.
Totally.
Lovely
So we're going to combine that. And then the other thing, remember I said you've synthesized this confluence, is the Earth Angel community.
Yes. Yeah.
So I'm seeing this beautiful confluence of these two ideas. And I'm just impressed that you put that together. Yeah. It's really cool of you.
And destiny is pulling on you, and you're feeling the pull of that. But it's not this. Just stay focused on what you're doing, and all that will arise because you've already seen it.
And I'm not. To me, it's not just one decision. Like the governing thing is, can I physically sit for more than a couple hours? Yeah, that's the governing thing. But beyond that, I have to kind of pre-think.
They need to design cockpits so you don't have to sit. You can lie down. So everything is up here, and then you could just lie down. There's a hole in the market for that. Then you wouldn't have to sit. You could just lie and fly.
Well, I'm
kind of joking a bit, but it's still not a bad idea.
Well, I mean,
lie and fly cockpit.
Certainly recline. I mean, when you look at some of these, like I was invited to be Are you familiar with Gulfstream? Do you know what a Gulfstream is?
Yes. A lot of private jets are Gulfstreams, right?
The exquisite ones
ones, yeah.
So these are top-end jets.
How much does a Gulfstream, a good one, cost? How much did Kim Kardashian pay for hers? Like 500 million or something?
Not 500 million.
No.
I mean, no.
Like how many?
I would be surprised if she was going to get a brand new, I
think she has. I think she bought
the last time I priced one, it was a 650. They might be up to the 750 or 850. I don't even looked, but I would think that the basic model without all
being
of the
retrofitted,
without without all the
add-ons.
accoutrements and all, I would think they're probably in the 30 million.
Okay, so that's
30 million,
maybe.
maybe.
Not
With
right up
for
there
the
like
basic,
a Boeing.
Basic Gulfstream.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm probably way off. To me, the Gulfstream is not something that serves most of the people most of the time. For me, I want to be able to pick you and maybe a couple other people up, go have lunch in the Keys, and be back by dinner.
Yeah, I love it.
I mean,
it's beautiful.
I don't need a Gulfstream.
You don't have to be
that.
in fucking traffic.
I don't need a Gulfstream.
Be up in the air. No, you do. Yeah, but that's beautiful. I love that idea.
Yeah. And if you want to go to the Panhandle,
if you wanted to go to New York, you can go to New York.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we don't have to go to New York City. We can actually go to the municipal port.
That's right.
We can go to Martha's Vineyard
or
something. Go. Like you don't have to go into where the cattle is, where the masses are.
So you've got quite bougie tastes, haven't you? And I love it.
Well, I mean,
you don't want to be stuck behind 10 people going 10 miles an hour slower than you. You want to be up in the air because it's not filled with cars. You can get right there and you can get there quicker and more directly. It's more efficient. It's more beautiful. And then you land.
Well, I mean,
it's a much better way of getting around.
There's probably the one airplane I'm looking at now is called the PC-24. It's made by Pilates.
How many people does that sit?
Depends on the configuration, but six very comfortably with their stuff, very comfortably. But that would be something. It's actually there's a lot of sheriff's offices. There's a lot of State Department. There's a lot of people that use the PC-24 for search and rescue for different things, because not only is it great for cruising, it's really capable for cruising, but it's also you can land it. It's a jet that you can land on a grass strip.
Oh, nice.
You can actually land it on unprepared.
Yeah, that's great.
So if you have
flexible.
If you have a piece of field.
So you could land on Osborne Airfield across.
I could
the
land
road.
on Osborne if I wanted to. Yeah. So those are things that are very attractive. So you can just. It doesn't have to be bougie.
I like your vision. Well, it is a nice bougie vision, and that's totally fine. I mean, it's such a great way of I mean, you could get in a plane now, and we could be at a restaurant in Martha's Vineyard in an hour and a half or something. It is bougie, but it's lovely.
I think it's a trend item too, because my LinkedIn feed and my because I've been looking at airplanes and helicopters. All of a sudden, I'm getting all of these things coming my way because the central authorities.
Would you learn how to fly a helicopter?
Oh, yeah, totally. I'm going to.
Oh, are you?
I've already flown.
Yeah, I've asked Tony that, and he said he doesn't want to learn.
Oh, no, I think helicopters are super cool.
You could have a little pad right out here.
Right out front. That's why I don't have trees.
I can't wait. I'm going to manifest it with you, darling. I can't wait.
That's why I don't have trees in front. If you look right out my front door, there's a...
And you're going to have a big round circle and then have an earth angel on it, right? And that'll be where the helicopter lands.
Are you freaking kidding me? I got to... You know what?
No, I can see it in my mind's eye.
I can't believe you said that. Have you seen a picture of my earth angel helicopter?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm talking about the pad.
No, I'm talking about the actual helicopter. Okay. All right, well, so we talked about all sorts of stuff. What have we not talked about that you want to talk about?
Nothing today because we've run out of time.
Okay.
But I've got my catechism here, and I would like on the next episode to spend about, I think it's going to take maybe 4 or 5 minutes just reading the questions out. There's about 60 of them, and it pertains to our Earth journey. And then I'd like to launch into a bit of a discussion here and there.
Okay. Well,
I'm glad that...
In the meantime, I want to show you this picture.
Oh, God, yeah.
All right,
I'm glad that you're not going back to Jeb. Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness, that's beautiful. Oh, wow, that is so fucking bougie, flashy. Oh, that's sexy.
Do you like that?
Yeah,
that's just a prototype.
Really like it. We need to put this on this has to go on this episode, right?
Oh, you think so?
Picture. Yes, I do.
All right, okay, well, we did talk quite a bit about aviation, so I think that can go. So this has been good. Thank you for letting me talk about Web3.
Yes, it's fascinating.
To me, the bottom line on the Web3 is we're taking power and structure away from the centralized
leveling
authorities,
the playing field,
and we're creating a level playing field. So nobody's censored, and everyone.
Good.
You don't have
freedom of speech and expression.
If you want to start making your own airplanes and selling your own airplanes, you should have the same access to the internet as Boeing Airlines has.
I agree.
And it's a level playing field.
Power to the people.
Power to the people, baby. So, Sarah, thanks for coming out.
Oh, it's been wonderful.
And thanks again for bringing me honey.
Oh, you're welcome. You have to squirt it over a scone. Do you know a scone? Do you know what a scone is?
Yeah.
And so a bit of butter, and you can have the plant-based butter, and then just drizzle that in honey. But I put a lot.
Look, I mean, if it comes to something,
it's just a dessert. Oh my, so decadent.
If it comes to something like that, I'm going to have real butter. I'm just telling you.
Oh, that's good.
I mean,
but the plant-based butter is lovely. Though I've had it. It's such a good rendition.
It is. Good.
I was not disappointed.
It is good.
But you have animal butter just once. You can do that once every 4 years, darling.
You know, if I'm going to have a little bit of butter,
a little bit of organic honey,
it's going to be what it is. So, but the same thing. Like if you had me coming over and you had shrimp on the barbecue, I mean,
yeah, you're not going to be a prima donna about it.
I'm not going to. No, I'm just going to. I'm going to have a nibble of whatever's there. I won't eat beef or pork.
I'm going to do raw ox liver next time you come over and you have.
Yeah, and I'll watch you eat that
with a cocktail stick.
I'll watch you eat that because I'm not going to eat ox liver.
All right, darling, you take it easy.
Okay, my dear.
Okay,
thanks.
Look
Good
forward
seeing
to
you.
Next week. Nice seeing you too.
Be well.
Soul Decodes, a feature presentation, airs every Friday on the Earth Angel Media Network. This episode of Soul Decodes is sponsored and produced by Live Pure. Optimize your life by taking your health to the next level. Listen now to learn how Live Pure will make your world better.
Live Pure is an American-based distribution system of online portals that give discounted access to clean, potent, natural, and ethically sourced healthy solutions for fat loss, muscle gain, immaculate skin care, immune system support, whole body cleanse, physiological balance, and performance support for athletes of all ages. Live Pure handpicks the best products and nutrients from world-class companies, always adding to their quickly growing wellness lineup that now includes Korean skincare, medical-grade nutraceuticals listed as pharmaceutical alternatives in the physician's desk reference, and healthy coffee that rivals the world's best, but for only about $1 per cup. Soul Decodes listeners looking for vitality, youth, beauty, and better health can get 25% off retail by visiting livepure.com/Sarah Tirri and signing up for free as a preferred customer. If you are a content creator, influencer, or home-based entrepreneur looking for worldwide cash flows from the emerging gig economy, Live Pure's state-of-the-industry brand partner affiliate program can bring you up to 7 different payment vectors as bonuses. As a content creator aligned with Live Pure and Earth Angel Media, you will enjoy massive co-marketing benefits, including a cutting-edge website that is personally branded to you or to your business. Sign up as a brand partner at livepure.com/Sarah Tirri, or drop us a note at connect@earthangelproject.com to get more information.